And then Frank, back to the writing question. What
Right.
was
So
the
the
writing
writing,
process like?
yeah. So the writing for this book was interesting, or not, maybe not interesting, but started 10 years ago.
Mm.
Because 10 years ago, Arianna Huffington asked me to write a column on a campaign, a global campaign I was starting called, back then, called, through my nonprofit, called Why Music.
Mm.
So I basically started writing about all these subject matters, and I was speaking on them and doing TEDx talks and kind of traveling around the world. And then at one point I said, well, I've been writing a few years now for this column, like, but people like blogs they read, they go by, they're almost like social media now, right? It's like, how can I like consolidate this into a way that can be really useful to people? And I started to do it. The next stage was I was invited by the government of Brazil, because they implemented the first mandatory music program in Brazil. The most musical country in the world never had mandatory music education in the public schools. So they asked me to help with that, and with building the technology side of it as well. And so I had to go, okay, well, what am I going to put together for them besides the technology and a curriculum? I said, I better, let me organize this stuff into a way that is actually useful. So there's been a number of stages that even though it would have affected 43 million kids, would have gone to 240,000 schools. It went up in flames, like many projects of that enormity, but it was a catalyst to move the writing, to move okay, how do I get it into people's hands, even if it's, through this book now. So, and then at some point I had to go, okay, I got to write a serious book, it's like, well, not serious, I got to get serious about writing a book.
Yep.
And then I really dedicated the time and, got lots of advice from editors and writers, and kind of had them review stuff I was working, what's good, what's not, mostly not. So, and you just, and then I had to get into the routine of, okay, I don't have all day. So it's like, okay, if I don't get 2 hours of writing, 3 hours of writing, then before the day starts, it's not going to happen. So you hear that from a lot of writers, unless you have the luxury of hanging out and writing all day. But you have family, a company. It's like you write books. It's like you have to find like, okay, I'm going to dedicate this window for. And then something really interesting. So then I got, I go, okay, I'm going to go with this, put this book out, and I got an agent. I went the route of the agent, and then he was shopping out to publishers, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then and then he had to close down his division of the agency, because they represented mostly us as speaking authors, and that's kind of where the revenue comes from, not so much from books. And so I got everything back in my lap, and it was for me, it was disappointing, but probably the best thing that ever happened, because I spent the first year of COVID completely rewriting the book.
Wow.
And it needed it. And you don't really want to go back there, because it's just like, it's rewriting, at least for me, is like the not the happy experience.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be, I would have never hit that mark that I can now go, okay, I'm proud of this. I'm going to be proud of this in 20 years. I'm going to, I'm not just putting a book out to put a book out. I really want to be one of the, the key memorable books like Daniel Levitin's was 10, 12 years ago with This Year Brain of Music. I want to be one of the seminal books in the field, not for the notoriety of that, but just to really be useful to people. And so it helped me to really go to the next level with the writing. And that was really hard, but really probably the most rewarding in the end, because then you come away, you're going, okay, I've given it everything that I can do, and I'm now really proud of it. And I thought that was also really important, because, now that we're in this hybrid publishing, and you become a company, I've now become a media company,
Right.
Without intending to, which has its benefits and disadvantages. We won't get into that, but it's really important. It's a lot of work, and it's, the real work, I hate to say it, I spent 10 years in the beginning, but the real work starts when you're done with the book, and you got to find ways to get it through the noise and get it and fulfill the mission, because the mission doesn't get fulfilled until it's in the hands of the reader and in the heart and minds of the reader. And without that, it's just it's an exercise, and a writing exercise, but that's not my mission. My mission is really to get it in the hands of readers. So now is the real work, and this is where, I hope we're working together, and we, working with lots of others, and and my hope is that we get this into millions of people's hands and other tools and resources to make this happen in the world.